welcome you to the Informal Cities symposium. And I will also tell a little bit about what happened yesterday when we started. We had an open day for the public, for all people who might not have been in the discussions of urban issues before. And it was really, really crowded and a very good atmosphere. And we had presentations from all the different delegations from the six countries that is represented here. People who you will meet today and with whom you will also discuss. So that was a really, really interesting and joyful and happy day yesterday, where we also put together the very much of the platform for the ideas that we're bringing into this day and the discussions in this open space. So on behalf of Maria Lantz and me, I would just like to welcome you all and hope for a very good and interesting day in the open space here. So welcome. And I will give the word over to Soledad.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Some of you met me yesterday, and I think I see some new faces here today.
So I'm Ilma Lindell, and I'm at the Nordic Africa Institute here in Sweden, and I do research on informal livelihoods in African cities.
I'm Evelyn Benekane from South Africa, a member of the Federation of the Urban and Rural Poor. I'm coordinating land and housing issues around South Africa.
My name is Winnie Kwabatira. I'm coming from Malawi, Homeless People's Federation, Angel Gove Blanta.
Okay, introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Fredrik Persson. I'm a member of the Social Democratic Party in Stockholm, and I work with in the regional parliament with infrastructure and traffic.
My name is Yemi. I am from Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm a consultant to CEDA.
My name is Karin Lundström. I'm an architect. I work at Lund University. We do courses and research on urbanization, and I'm working on my PhD on gender and urban development.
My name is Elisabeth Spence, and I'm interested in city development in different projects here in the city.
Great, and I'm Steve Brant from New York. I'm an independent researcher and consultant on international development seen through the principles of systems thinking, where when we collaborate we can do more together than we ever could do separately. And my work here is to bring that principle to community development globally and see how much 51% of humanity can do working together. Thank you.
Okay, so we sort of try to merge these ideas, so we don't know really how they hang together. But it's up to us to do whatever we, to make sense of it if it makes sense. But the idea, or it's my own research interest on grassroots organizations, because giving influence to poor people is not going to happen from the top down. People have to claim it themselves, and surely people are managing on an individual daily basis, and and conquering space in the city and all of that, and changing the landscape of cities. But if they're going to achieve some sort of influence and not just be treated as a nuisance or as marginals or insignificant or just the poor, that chaotic mass, then they have to organize themselves into organizations and to voice their interest in some collective way. So that's my work is about that. It's very much about, I focus a lot on urban livelihoods, informal livelihoods, it means street vendors and marketeers and those kinds of people, and how they organize locally, but in some cases as well internationally. And then when I mentioned, grassroots, collective organizing, the prospects, because they're not always there, sometimes it's very, very difficult to organize. The prospects, their agendas, which also could be very different, and the opportunities that this type of organizing might open. And I felt that, you know, having representatives of these kinds of organizations here, it would be a great opportunity for us to learn from your experiences and from your thoughts about what are the possibilities, what can be achieved, and what are the major challenges. And then I have learned from my own contact with some of these organizations that they might mobilize to put pressure on their local authorities for local change, creating sustainable cities, whatever. But they might also organize internationally and have an agenda that goes beyond the local level. And this is where Steven's interests come in.
Yes, and I'd also like to acknowledge our newest member. Would you please let us know who you are and
yeah, my name
why you're
is
here?
Sheridan Bartlett. I work as a, a researcher on children's issues. I work with the Indian branch of SDI with Spark, and have been involved marginally with SDI for many years. And it seems to me that these people have the knowledge to most of the questions you're asking and an endless experience in finding solutions to these questions under the most trying circumstances. And I think you're right, they have an enormous amount to teach us.
Yes. So really the question we share is how much can, I believe, is how much can communities accomplish if they link together, given that there's already tremendous brilliance and commitment and wisdom. Things have been done locally. I came here not knowing all of these stories, and I'm so impressed and thrilled at how much people are achieving, even with minimal resources, financial resources. It's just very, very exciting. But the opportunity to do more by collaborating with a well-organized connecting structure through perhaps conference organizers like the people putting this conference together, other conference organizers, people who are skilled at reaching out to existing groups and bring them together. The question is, could we have an impact beyond our geographic locations? Because we have, as a total, statistically, 51% of all of humanity within our communities when seen as a total. And what that 51% could introduce as an agenda is well, it could be very big. It could literally shift the entire global economic model, and that's what we wanted to invite you all to think about. Because the current global model is not working. It includes war as an acceptable means of creating change, which is intolerable to me. It creates so much tragedy. A chance to put out a new model where war is no longer even recognized as something we need to do, because talking and collaborating can replace the change mechanism. That's part of the principles that I've studied. So, shall we move into seeing how people feel about this global concept?